I want to survive my ex-wife's murder plot.
She had
Hey, bro, he looks hilarious.
£18,000
She wanted to get him killed just because she got tired
in
of
baby
it.
milk tins wrapped up in duct tape, hidden in her house, ready for what?
He didn't
Ready
even
for
do
this
anything
guy
wrong.
to
She was just tired of him.
put a brick
He
across
looks
the back of my head.
murderable for sure.
That's when it got really scary.
Domestic abuse survivor. He looks like he's gotten his ass beat by everybody.
What's your upbringing like?
I was an academic child. I did what I was told. I was happy to work hard, trying to make the most of things. Trying to make my parents proud of me. University was great. I really made the most of certainly of the first year. I took the opportunity to be a completely different person. Come the second year, that's when I met Victoria. Things started off really well.
When you first met Victoria, why were you drawn to her? What was she like?
She was bubbly, enthusiastic. She was really exciting. She represented somebody who was interesting and interested. She was
And Victoria wanted to murder him. Isn't that crazy?
very interested.
He's still
in
got
me,
all these nice
and
things to say
started
about her.
to get very intense very quickly.
And we watched my
intense.
favorite
It was
YouTuber.
a new relationship. We were
Yes.
in each other's pockets. As it went on and that continued, there's no let up. It didn't stop.
React to
doing that.
Guru,
By
Arman,
the end of
Aiden.
the
I actually
second
watched
year,
that.
It
was cool.
was it was that
We actually
times
got
100.
Rampage to pull up.
It had moved from being around each other all the time to being around each other with nobody else all the time. There were people who said to me, "Are you sure things
Sounds
are?"
like he
things
low
are-
key missed the
are
put. He
things
definitely
okay?"
missed the put. He missed
But
the
it's very
put.
difficult for me, I think for men and young men in particular to say, no, it's not okay. I don't like it. At the time, I didn't know what an abusive relationship looked like for me. I recognize now that that's what it was, in the way in which I was controlled, in the way in which I was maneuvered, manipulated. The term coercive control didn't exist. Certainly not for me. I didn't know what that was and whether or not why that would even be applicable to me. The way in which things were created to be my opinion. I didn't have an opinion other than our opinion. I didn't make any decisions. It was very difficult and that's very difficult to explain, because when I met people, I was making decisions all the time, but those decisions were always couched with, well, what would Victoria prefer me to do? What does she want me to do? I stayed after university for another year while she finished her course, and we moved in to a separate house together, and that gave us a reason not to see anybody, almost. And I couldn't go anywhere without first making sure that she was happy for me to go, or for us both to go. And that kind of total control was certainly something that became part and parcel of who I was and who we were as a couple.
So she was insisting that it would just be you two. It was all on her terms.
There was always a reason. There was always a justification. You know, if I loved her, then why do we need to go out? You know, what's the point?
Guru
She
actually
was my
being
life.
built
She
and still getting
was
put on his face by little ass
my
Arman was
reason.
funny as fuck.
and that's what she
Yeah,
wanted.
he just kind of like squirmed for a
Every
takedown.
single step is a
didn't
small
get it.
step. Every single move is entirely reasonable.
I couldn't begin to imagine how fire some murderous poo would be. More evil a bitch, the better to put on everyone. My children gonna have a horrible mother. What the fuck is your problem?
It's
Yo, snap out of it.
you know, going to college, going to university, going to work,
My
then
children gonna
all of a
have
sudden
a
you
horse.
turn around
What are
and
you
you realise that's all of it.
manifesting for them?
You're going to work and then coming home.
Like,
and not
Dad,
doing
what's wrong with
anything else.
Mom?
There's
Fucking
no
box some gas.
There is no social life. There is no reason to do
Your
anything
mom
or
be
be
throwing that
anywhere
pud.
other than with her.
Come here, Junior.
And
Let me talk to you about the shit your
again,
mom be
it was
doing.
one of
Fucking,
those
you're
small
nuts. You're nuts.
incremental logical steps. We were together, we were married, then we have kids.
Oh my God,
I was-
yeah, no,
I was
he is
26
slaughterable. Look at this dude. Oh my gosh. They're like, just make the dumbest fucking face you can make. Nah, he's definitely intolerable. He's 100% in
So
fucking
I was 26 when
I want to hit him in the face with
when
a
my
fucking
daughter was
frying
born.
pan. I'd headbutt him.
and all of a sudden,
He was fatter.
Victoria got
Yeah, he looks like a Chud. He looks like a Look, all right. I say Chud 400 times a day. Multiple times I've been asked, "What is a Chud?" Chud. Fucking
pushed to
Chud.
second place, and she didn't like that.
How long were you in this relationship with Victoria?
Show Victoria.
In total, so
Outfit
we
don't
met
help.
in
He had the baby
we
wrapped
met
up in the shit like a
1999.
fucking mother.
And I separated after my.
Looks like Peter Griffin
my
on a
daughter
diet.
was
He does look like
about 1.5,
slightly healthier
so
Peter.
About 2007, middle of 2007, towards the end of 2007.
So once you decided to leave the relationship, how did Victoria immediately respond?
For a short time, everything was okay. In the same way that everything was okay when we got together. It didn't last long because I left and she was very angry about that. And she perhaps wanted to exact some level of punishment, some level of re-establish some level of control. Things started to ramp up. I started getting requests which were more and more extreme. I would be asked to travel 2 hours on the drop of a hat in order to see my daughter for a day and then bring her back. Or plans would change halfway through that and say, well, now she's no longer there, she's here. I would be shut out from various decisions. I had to make a decision that I had to put everything else second and put my daughter first. And that's what I did. That's the point at which everything started to go wrong. Victoria was remarried. Her husband, she had told him that I had hurt her. She had let him know in no uncertain terms how dangerous I was. I think what he did next was naive and a shame. He attacked my car and set fire to my car and set fire to my house. And so what he did was wrong. And what he did put my life and the life of my family in danger. But the decision that got him to that place was exactly the same decision process that she had perfected on me.
And with Wayne, he attacked your house. How did he get caught for that, and how come she didn't end up in prison for that?
They were both arrested. She was released without charge. She wasn't there. She couldn't be placed. And, of course, the other thing is that Wayne never described that she was connected in any way. He denied even doing it himself. He was convicted of it, but he pled not guilty, and as a result, the police didn't and couldn't connect Victoria to it. There was several pieces of evidence that connected Wayne, not least a recording, a 999 recording that connected him to the case.
I just know Victoria's
So she
fat
tried
and
to
ugly.
persuade
I
a
can
series
tell
of
she's
men
fat and
to
ugly.
murder you, essentially.
I want
Like,
her.
what was
I
her
can fix
rationale
her.
and how
Yeah,
was she
I.
persuading them?
The modus operandi
She'll turn you to a hashtag.
was the same. To paint me as a person, as a terrible human being, as worthy of punishment, as worthy of being dealt with. Victoria was able to move and manipulate relationships and conversations and friendships incredibly easily, depending on the type of people that she spoke to, varying degrees of success. Thankfully, for me, some of these guys, of course, said that they didn't want to have any part of it, and some were more open to the suggestion. Once these guys had said no, then she moved on and found somebody else who she thought might be willing to do it. And that's how we moved on through. In the end, it was five guys that I am aware of.
This pudgy bitch is what this is all happening about. This school bus driving lady. Police approached Rob after discovering a 24-minute recording of a conversation between Victoria and a former drug dealer. She looks nuts though. Oh, never mind. Yo, not gonna lie, this guy pussy just beat the bitch, bro. Why are we watching this? At no point has he beat this bitch. She lied about it. She lied about him beating her up. So and no consequences happen from these false claims when clearly their legal system is some bullshit because they didn't go to jail for setting his house and car on fire. So you could literally beat the bitch and they'd be like, I feel like he could get away with it, bro. He might not win though. He deadass might not win. I knew from seeing him she wouldn't be all that, but nah, come on. She is a fucking this ogre of a woman. The pair discussed possible ways to kill Rob, including smashing a brick across his head or kicking him to death.
The way in which Victoria was recorded,
she has no
by
selling point.
talking to somebody who, by all accounts, seemed to be far more
she has
professional.
No selling point.
Certainly purported to be more professional than any of the other guys that she had spoken to. Prices were discussed.
None.
Methods were discussed. That recording.
To be fair, though, I mean, look at this dude.
Trial. She pleaded not guilty. She said that it was a joke. She said that it was a way in which to let off steam against an old ex. And in abusive relationships, which I now recognize mine was, it's always the pattern that gives it away. And her pattern was this. It wasn't one joke. It wasn't one
better
thing.
Than that.
It was
He'd be a solid passport, bro.
Series of actions, the series of intentions that took us to a point where she had £18,000 in baby milk tins wrapped up in duct tape, hidden in her house. Ready for what? Ready for this guy to put a brick across the back of my head. That's when it got really scary. The trial was 2 weeks of very difficult events. I was expecting to be called to give evidence, but I wasn't. I was really surprised that actually the defense took my statement and just agreed.
He's actually
Finally,
a bitch. I'd take Ladyboy over her. And
believe me, someone could stand up and say,
"You're just gay, bro."
Yes, that happened, and it happened to you. that was
I
an
do understand you're very
incredibly
gay. We're having a good time, bro.
fulfilling feeling. It meant
You like men dressed up as
probably
women.
more than
We feed this
almost
guy
anything
every
else.
PED and
Okay, I
maybe
was an
it'll alter his
extreme
brain
example,
chemistry.
but I
You gotta
wasn't
send
the
him to
only example.
Dagestan for 2-3 decades.
There are lots of aspects
I
of
just
my
know he's so
story
physically
that
uncoordinated.
are applicable to lots of
He
different
needs to be Chris Brown.
men,
No
women,
hope for him.
reaching those people, reaching those guys, reaching the guys who don't think
I
that they're
beat
in
him
that
and his
kind of
bitch up. I beat
difficult
both their ass.
relationship. Recognition that it is a problem is one step. It's difficult to ask for help, and finding someone who you trust.
Oh my god! Shut up, bitch. Shut up
But
all that
there are
bitching. I
more
don't
and
care,
more
bro.
people out there, connections. that can
God,
help.
he's such just a fucking pussy. I don't care. Look up his name. Hold on. In recent news, the biggest bitch in the world almost died. Man named Rob Parks. From I don't even fucking know where. It's an absolute pussy. His wife bitched him. He lost custody of his child. Oh no, she lost custody of the child. Five years ago. $9 years, 6 months.